There is a message that I've been sharing on my social media platforms that I started sharing in the year 2023, and I've really been emphasizing with the Zambians. Of course, this message is meant for the nation of Zambia. You know, God spoke to me about the elections that are coming in 2026. Yeah, now I feel like we can do what we call prophetic updates, like where we check these divine messages to see or to observe if they are really giving that picture like how God said it, and is it really showing that it can really happen. So that is what we can say for now, like the updates. Yeah, there's these messages which they will need a space of time. You know, for example, like the way it is, the Zambians will be voting in 2026, and God gave me this message in 2023. If I'm not mistaken now, it has really been a long time. So far, it has really been a long time. You can imagine. And also, I feel like it is important to mention this thing that I've been really observing most of the Zambians, the men of God there, the servants of God, that no one has been speaking like the same language that I've been speaking. I think I've been speaking, what I've been speaking is like I'm found to be alone. Because my message in my old video where I was mentioning to say, God showed me President Hakainde Chirema being elected in the coming elections in 2026. And most of the men and the servant, I should say the servants of God in the nation of Zambia that I've been seeing, maybe if there's one that I've not seen yet, but most of them is like we are seeing the former president of Zambia, President Lungu, coming back. President Lungu is coming back. Yeah, but this is not like where I'm talking about competition and whatever, but it is just a reason. But all it is for the glory of God. We are all the same. We are human beings. We are, no one is like more important than the other. But if anything happens like how God says, that is the glory that is meant for God, not meant for us as humans. We are nothing, but God will always remain the same. So it is just like where now we get that grace where God can use someone to say, for this time, on this one, I want to use you. I want to speak to this nation through you. So it's just part of the grace where we can appreciate. But now when we're talking about these updates, it is now like where we should see, where are we going? Like how I've said, say some of the messages, they will require that period of time for them to be observed well. And now for us to see the shape of it, whether what God said can really happen or not. You see, is it showing that green light that it can happen? Today, there is a hot situation in Zambia where we talk of they are in the area of politics. You know, the Constitutional Court for the nation of Zambia has given the judgment to the former president, Edgar Lungu, that is not allowed to contest again, even for the 2026 presidential elections. Like for the future elections that will be there, is not allowed, meaning that it is done, he has served his 2 terms and it is over. It ends there. And now when we are looking at this former president, Edgar Lungu, is one of the big political figures in Zambia. You know, that person who has got that influence. You see, when you talk about Zambia, I think there have been the current president Hakainde Hichilema and the president, this former president Lungu, that have been like these two, you know, that high competition that has been just between them. I don't think there have been any other so far. All right, so President Lungu, this former head of state, has accepted the judgment from the court. Has respected it, and now he's saying he's coming up with his plan B. All right, meaning that he will not stand, but there might be his plan, as he's saying, this plan B. Okay, but I just wonder, when I look at it, in my view, not in anyone's view, but in my view, as we are observing where the things are going, it shows that President Hakainde Hichilema is still standing a better chance. And this might show that the message which God has been speaking or spoke, it might come true. That is in my view. But this is not the actual point where we say it was meant for this. We are still waiting, because this is not 2026. All right. I know the people of Zambia have got their own choice. We are here just following or observing what it was said. We'll keep praying for the nation of Zambia, that God should continue blessing the people of Zambia.
Politics last year. The country's highest court determined that Lungu's first term, served from 2015 to 2016 following the death of President Michael Sata, counts as a full presidential term. This ruling effectively blocks his bid for a new mandate. Lungu said in a statement that Tuesday's verdict was steered by the hands of political manipulation. The 68-year-old faced allegations of corruption while in office, and his wife and other family members are facing graft charges in court, which he says is a way from blocking him to seek a third term. The vice president of Lungu's party said the former leader was not concerned.
Now, I was saying about the vision that God gave me, where I saw myself, I was on a phone call. Yeah, talking to somebody whose voice sounded so strange. I was even trying to find out who can this be, But I remember the conversation that we had. It was like, you are going to be re-elected. And that's what God is saying. So I was like, but I'm speaking this to somebody whom I don't know. Later on, when the phone had to cut the call, I checked on the phone who was online. You see, so the number came like it was on a WhatsApp call. Like you go on the DP, there are those, there's a space where you save the photo. So it was like on the DP. To my surprise, I saw His Excellency Hakainde Hichilema. He was like sitting, making a pause, like he was on a phone call. You can imagine. So I came to know. So I was talking to His Excellency Hakainde Hichilema, the President of the Republic of Zambia. Wow. I just came to know that God has spoken. I know when God is speaking, I know it. That's why I'm here coming live to people. I want to tell, this is like now the whole Zambia. This is what God is saying. And watch this message. There will be nothing that will change.